listening to the Unleash Greatness podcast with your host, Jonathan Mitchell. The best in personal, emotional, spiritual, and business development.
Well, hello everyone. I hope your Thursday is incredible, amazing, awesome, and just hopefully relaxing, cooling, soothing, whatever the word you want to use. I hope it's in a positive form. I am Jonathan Mitchell. This is Unleash Greatness. Today is Story Day, and I have a cool article I found from Tinybuddha.com. It's called I had a friend of mine that kind of had a bad day, and I personally have gone through some days lately where it's been a hard couple of days, losing some people very, very close to me, and so I just thought the subject around of improving your mood when you're feeling down might be helpful. So I found an article that's called 30 Ways to Improve Your Mood When You're Feeling Down on tinybuddha.com that I will get to here in just a second. Now, before we get to some of the stuff, just want to point out this is sponsored by naturalmedicinemoms.com, help around natural and alternative medicine and products. This is unleashg.com, Unleash Greatness. Let's get going. So like I mentioned before in the introduction, I have had personally kind of a crazy week. I'm a very natural, optimistic, positive person. At least I try to be. I definitely have my bad days, that's for sure. And this last little while, couple of weeks, I've experienced a lot of personal loss, losing people very close to me, losing the possibility of some things happening. And it makes it so you have a bad day sometimes. So I had another friend that went through some similar things, just recently reached out to me and just said, hey, I'm kind of having a bad time, and was just talking to me about it and just saying, what, I don't even know what to do in this situation. How do I get better? And I didn't have all the answers. And so I started doing some research and just thinking to myself of what to say and what to suggest. And so I hope I'm going to send this podcast to that friend because I want to make sure they get some help and make sure they know I heard them and I care about them. But I found an article online from tinybuddha.com. That's just called hang on a second here. It's called the 30 Ways to Improve Your Mood When You're Feeling Down by Madison Saunier. Saunier. I can't speak French at all. Okay, so I'm going to go through these 30 ways pretty quick. They're nice and easy, so not too bad. And it says sometimes, they point out that sometimes you have some bad days, or you have days where you shut down, or you're just tired or something. And so these are just to help you kind of move forward. I'm going to have my own kind of thoughts on each one of these as we go. So these are some things they said to do. So first one is step back and self-reflect. Try to get to the root of your feelings of why you're having a bad day. Just try to think, why am I experiencing this? Did someone hurt my feelings? Did something go wrong? What is going on inside of me and what's happening? Which I totally agree with that. Next is reach out to someone, like my friend who reached out to me. Don't bottle up your feelings. Don't use the fear of judgment to hold you back, but reach out to someone that you feel like is loving and understanding to just say, I'm having kind of a bad day. What can I do? For me, a few years ago, I went through this horrible, horrible breakup, super depressed, and I had a good buddy of mine that was local, and I hadn't played music in a long time, and I just said, hey, you want to come over and jam? Let's just jam and hang out for a second. And so he totally came over, and we played some music, and I had such a fun time. It was so nice. So reaching out to someone, being with other people that lift you up is an amazing thing to do. Next is listen to music. Music obviously can heal, can make you feel in a better mood, can even if you listen to music that describes how you feel, sometimes that's a very healing experience, is to listen to a sad song, because it gives you the ability to process your emotions in a way that you couldn't have done before. As a musician that writes music all the time for different purposes, I can tell you that sometimes I write music for the purpose of helping me get out of a funk. Or there's songs that I listen to that when I'm super sad, and they are sad songs, but yet it helps me process. Or there's songs that help me feel juiced and pumped and get me out of kind of a funk. So if you need music, by the way, I have lots. Go to my website, crewtunes.com. I got lots for you for free. Anyways, next is cuddle or play with pets. My family growing up, my sisters, I have 4 sisters, and they loved animals. And so we grew up with like horses and rabbits and chickens and dogs and cats. And I grew up in Idaho, and it sounds like it was a farm. It wasn't, but it could have been. And I can tell you that having animals around definitely helps a lot. And I have 2 little pups now that are very, very cute and annoying, but awesome. Next is going for a walk. I can also speak to this one. Anytime I get to a place where I feel stuck or kind of I don't know what's going on. I always go for a walk and just to clear my head. Being outside, being with nature is just awesome. Drink something healthy and reinvigorating. So they suggest like orange juice, but there's other fruit juices like cranberry or apple or other stuff. Drink something healthy and get something good into your system as far as nutrition. Next is write. I do this a lot, not just with music, but just overall. I sit down to my computer and I just start writing about whatever I feel, and I don't judge myself and don't stop myself from saying anything. I just write. Next is take a nap. Sometimes you need to recharge. I know I get to a funk whenever I get behind sleep, so taking a nap is awesome, or just going to sleep earlier if you don't like naps. Next is planning a fun activity. Find someone to go on some trip with. Like go to somewhere that makes you happy, whether it's somewhere down the street, go to a trip to an ice cream store, like whatever. Just find somewhere to go to make you happy. Next is do something spontaneous. So think of doing something crazy and out of the blue that would make you just, kind of spark and shake things up a little bit. Next, sometimes it says here you want to prioritize. At times when you feel stuck or depressed, it could be that things are out of whack. Maybe you're working too much and you're burned out. Maybe you don't feel like you have purpose and you need something, like maybe you need work that actually makes you feel like you have some sort of purpose. Take a look and see, okay, am I prioritizing things in the wrong way or not? Next is look through old photographs or snap some new ones. Creating memories or looking at old ones always looks or helps people put smiles on faces. Next is hugs. This person writing this, Megan, is obviously a hugger. She and I would get along because I love saying hugs. Saying hugs. When I say hugs, I mean giving hugs. I love giving hugs. I'm a hugger. But the point is giving hugs. There are studies that talk about like what's the word? There's a word for this. There's the happy chemical in your body. I can't remember the technical word. If you're listening to this, I'm sorry, I don't know the word. Neurotoxins? No, that's not right. There's a happy chemical that gets released when you're in contact, in touch with people. So hug someone. If you can't find someone, then hug someone random. Maybe they need something too. And I've done that before. It's kind of crazy to see what people do and you just hug them. If not, find someone that you know that can hug you without thinking you're a creep. Next is laugh. I always try myself to find something to laugh at. Like I'm a huge fan of Brian Regan. I know Bill Cosby has had some major issues here recently, but I love his earlier stuff. His comedy I think is hilarious. I try to find something that I think is funny. Monty Python's another thing I love a lot. I listen to a lot of Monty Python. Another one is crying. Sometimes it's a good time just to cry. Like if you need to just cry and get stuff out and let yourself just grieve over something, like losing someone like I have. It's good to just grieve. Next is reading over old emails or text messages or even old voicemails. Like I personally keep a lot of my old voicemails so I can listen to them later from ones that mean a lot to me. Another one is reconnect with someone, like an old friend or family member you haven't spoken to in a while, and maybe it's not because of anything happened. It's just life happens. You forgot, Write yourself a letter. Cicero said nobody can give you wiser advice than yourself, so write yourself a letter in the future saying, hey, when you get into a bad space, this is what you do. Next is try deep breathing exercises. I went through a class once that the whole day we spent talking about breathing. I know it sounds like a really long day of just breathing, but it was so interesting to talk about the studies behind breathing, what kind of breath you have, what it means when you breathe in, out more than you breathe out. Just really cool things, and just the health benefits behind breathing. So if you ever take a second, just breathe and just think to yourself, okay, just breathe. Anybody can just breathe. Next is cultivate gratitude. Always take a little 10 minutes, write down 10 things you're grateful for. Next is rewatch a funny or inspiring YouTube videos. There are a ton of stuff on YouTube. Even if you go to a awesome, inspiring video, tons of stuff comes up. Number 22 is bake something. Baking has been therapeutic. And again, I'm not sure if I'd bake something. I'd love to bake cakes or cookies because I love cookies. But even if you don't bake something, then maybe creating something, I would say, to add to that. Getting out of the house. A lot of times we get stuck behind a computer or just in your own space or watching Netflix and you feel down. Get out of the house, even if it's out to the mall and just getting out with people and energy. Next is focus on something truly that matters to you. And if you don't know what that is, maybe it's time to reflect on what does matter to you and then go spend time doing it. Maybe it's going out and helping the homeless or whatever. Number 25 is taking a negative comment or situation and look for something positive about it. Maybe you got a bad day and someone told you something crappy. What would be the good thing about that? Next thing from there is taking a positive daydreaming session. So you just get to let yourself just dream and just relax and just think about whatever you want to think about when you're life gets to the place that you would like it to be in. What would that feel like? Let some actual natural sunlight in. There's a lot of studies lately on the power of earthing and sunlight. So just letting your feet be bare, even if it's in the wintertime, against the cold ground, there's something grounding about that and helps people alleviate depression. Then you add in the sunshine, obviously vitamin D, but just giving yourself the ability to be in the sunshine. Last couple ones are mental health days. Sometimes you need to just take a day. Let's just say it's a sick day. You just say, hey, I have a sick day today. And you let yourself just kind of take a breather and take a break from whatever's going on. Whether that's a break from relationships or break from work or break from whatever's going on. Let yourself have a break. Next one is letting go. Love this one too, is just let go. Don't try to hold on and control things. Just let go of the things that hold you back. And lastly, as they say, read Tinybuddha. And I'm going to add one more thing that says, listen to Unleash Greatness. Anytime you feel bad, you come listen to us. I promise I will do my best to make sure we have guests or subjects or something that makes you laugh. So this, again, is called the 30 Ways to Improve Your Mood When Feeling Down. If any of these resonate with you, I will include the link in the post so you can make sure you can look it up yourself. But this is a really good, simple, to-the-point article that just shows a lot of good stuff you can read and lift you up. I would maybe add one more thing that would just say, allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. Anytime we feel something negative, like a funk or a blues or that kind of thing, I know it says here in this article to look at why you're, feeling this way, but you want to, in our lives, everything we bring in, I talked about this last week, we as humans take in a lot. Like we breathe in oxygen, we exhale carbon dioxide. We take in food, we let the food out in various ways. We take in emotion and we let it come out, and it's your choice of how that comes out. It will come out one way or another. The choice is going to be how it's going to come out and at who. I would suggest that you have a bad day or something's going on to let yourself feel whatever it is you feel and give yourself permission to let it out so that you're not letting it out in an unhealthy way towards someone that you care about. You guys, thank you so much for listening in. This is Unleash Greatness. Super excited to have you guys on board. Take a listen to this. Let me know what you think. Subscribe, share, do whatever you want to do with it. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Bye.